the, well, we're not at the Nile, but we're going to be at the Nile. Can we start by introducing yourselves and what you play in the band?
Yep. Brandon, I do vocals.
I'm Brandon, I play guitar.
I'm Corey, and I play bass.
I'm Cody, and I play the guitar.
Jeff, play the drums.
Drums. How did you guys all meet? You've been together a while now, right?
We met, me, him, we all went to high school together, and we just really wanted to start a band. And I knew he played drums, so I just kind of talked to him, I guess. And we played in a band for a while, and we didn't really like the music we were doing, so we just decided to change it up a bit. And our vocalist at the time quit, so we recruited that guy. And then we needed a bass player, and so we played like 3 shows without a bass player, and then we found this guy on Craigslist.
Yay!
Yeah, not that.
I found me from Craigslist too, I think.
Oh yeah, I found him on Craigslist too.
It's kind of random because like when he emailed me, like his email was already in my like folder because we had talked in the past about it.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, we knew each other like, we started out for a band that I was in 3 or 4 years ago, or something like that. It was really bizarre, but it's cool.
So how long have you been together?
Just about a year now. Exactly
A year and like a month or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe the sound or the style of your music?
Ugly. Ugly.
Ugly? Not pretty.
I think it's Brandon, shoot.
It's like a child.
What is it? Toilet.
Toilet.
It's just, we try to keep a really raw sound, but we try to, rather than a lot of bands, take 1 or 2 influences and just mold off of those. We kind of take a lot from punk rock, thrash, and like classic rock and roll, and then mix that with the hardcore stuff too. So we try to not just say this song should sound like this or this song should sound like this. We try to make every song incorporate everything that we're all into. And even though it's heavy, we want the words to have meaning. We don't want to be all about breakdown, or we can be the heaviest, or we can be the fastest, or the most technical.
A lot of the bands seem to be like getting heavier, but they lack like the emotional intensity. I feel like they just sound heavy, but they don't really have like the frustration, I guess, that backs it up almost. So I guess that's kind of where the sound would be like.
Okay. I usually ask this question because I just want to know, because I want to know. Obviously you guys like music, but what else do you like to do? Any other hobbies or interests?
Jeff, go to work.
You don't know?
Music's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that works for me. I tried sports for a while.
Not so good?
You got the choice, one or the other. You play sports, or you just default sports.
Yeah, pretty much that.
I think me and Cody both share an interest, and that is Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Star Wars. Records are cool, skateboarding's fun, street art's fun, comic books are fun. Those things are cool.
Anybody a gamer? Seems like everybody I ask says Xbox or something.
I mean, you know, it's a really hardcore into it.
Yeah.
I'm bad at that too.
I just got a PS3 and I'm rocking it and I'm singing it in karaoke every night.
That's how we practice.
But it's still music,
That
right?
is how I practice. My beautiful vocals.
Okay, I have to ask also, have you had any like really embarrassing moments at a show?
I can bring up a lot.
Just air breaking in the middle of it.
Yeah, a good show is when our stuff doesn't break. Seriously.
We're hoping for it tonight, because it has not.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was a show in Tucson where it was like the first song, and I'm playing my bass, and I throw it, and I threw it, and it clocked Brandon right in the face.
Oh no!
And I felt so mad.
Me and Corey got this long standing back and forth.
But then you got me back in Yuma, because you took my bass that we played, and then you swung it, and you clocked me in the face.
I still think it's about 2 for 1 because you also got yourself.
Oh, you got yourself too?
You want me to tell the story?
You tell the story, 'cause I don't know.
You
Okay,
guys are cute.
so we're in Scrappy's in Tucson, and you know we're just talking out doing our thing, playing, and all of a sudden like this blood starts coming out from Corey's face, and it looks so badass, and everybody's like, yeah, he's just ripping it up. What happened? You know, and like blood coming down the face and everything. And after the show, we're like, what happened? Man, you got to get a cuss across his face and everything. He hit himself with this. That started it. Then he hit me, which is actually on one of the YouTube videos. And then I hit him.
It is recorded.
And then there was also the last time in Tucson when I fell backwards as I tripped on your cable, and you just fell right on top of me. Yeah, we almost kissed.
You don't remember?
There was
something special for you.
I think it's all me that's having these problems. Because there was a show at the Plantation back in the day, and I tripped over one of the monitors, and I fell on my back.
Oh no.
We're just a big embarrassing band.
My mother would be proud.
Yeah.
Funny.
She is. She likes our Facebook comments every day.
#1 fan, Don Skaronsky.
I have like
Did your mom before the interview say like, make sure you say my name?
Make sure to say my name, Corey.
How would you describe the state of the local scene right now?
You know, I mean, yeah. No, I mean, I think it's good. Every band in Arizona is upping the bar a lot more than it has been, but there's also like this big contrast between bands. Like there's bands like There and There and Long Live and the Hawker and Georgiana Hawkins. They're all putting out CDs that are just amazing, like the best things they've ever put out, and they've been bands for years and years. And they're putting out the stuff that's way above the local level. But when it comes to promoters and venues, there's not a connection between all three where they're working together for a common goal. There's either promoters that are, just raping the scene and deciding to say you have to sell 50 pre-sale tickets or you don't play, or they sell those 50 pre-sale tickets to their family members that don't really care about the show, or people that don't care about coming to the show, so they come to see that one band. And as soon as that band starts playing, they take off. So it really doesn't help the venue, it doesn't help the band, it just helps the promoter. And then the second side of that is the bands really have to work harder, because the band just can't have this whole self-entitled idea that I can just go to the show and there's going to be people there. They have to go out there and do flyers, they have to promote online. And now that it's not as easy as clicking, invite on MySpace or clicking like on MySpace or friending someone, you actually have to go out there and find multiple ways to get your name out there. And lots of bands aren't doing that right now. They're just self-entitled, thinking that because their name's on a flyer, people are going to show up.
There's just not like a sense of community like there used to be. I mean, if you think about how it was done like back in even the 80s with bands like Black Flag and the Minutemen and Minor Threat and stuff, like they would go out and they would just pass out flyers and they would see these people at the shows and grow as a community, just these people they just met on the streets because they just come to the shows because they all had, one thing in common that they just kind of didn't fit in anywhere else. And it's really what we're about. And we don't like have the agenda to bring it back or the expectation to, but we just try to at least make that idea kind of known.
Yeah, it's not even on only a music level, it could be on, everything. I mean, local businesses, we're really into supporting local causes, like local charities and nonprofits. So it's really about using it as a platform to do something outside of yourself. So, hopefully everybody's connecting on, lyrics, on musical level, and going to the shows and having fun. At the same time, hopefully it inspires people to go out there and learn about, the things we sing about the things we support, and the volunteer time that we do, and things like that. And when it comes to shows, going back to what I was saying, it's really just, you see these shows now where you have 10 bands on a show and you might have heard one or two of them, and that's not a show that you remember for the rest of your life. You remember a show that has 3 or 4 really, really good bands, and maybe they open the door to one unknown band to help them get them in the door. So you go see 3 or 4 really, really awesome bands, and then you're excited that you see this other band you never heard of. You don't go to a show and see 9 bands you've never heard of, and then go away talking about how a year from now.
Right. So what do you think community, I guess the community as a whole, could do or should do to better support the scene, to make it grow, or to make it...
Not feel as though they're, I guess like you said, entitled. I mean, because we're all, there's no us and them factor between the bands and the people. We're all just kind of there for the same reason. We just need to remember that that's why we're there. We're not there to make money or look good or anything like that. We're just there because that's what we want to do. And I think people need to remember that we're all here for each other.
Yeah.
We're not here to have some sort of like title in the scene or anything like that, because that's kind of silly.
Yes, the competition really. It's come to a point where people think that by tearing another band down or talking poorly about a band or a venue or whatever it may be, that it's going to bring themselves up. But that's not the way you bring someone else up. You bring everybody up together. And it's really, just because you're heavy or fast, I mean, you don't have to be the heaviest band or the fastest, or you don't have to be you're doing most brutal breakdowns. You know, it's just do what you love, and people will respect you for that.
Yeah, just
and it really doesn't have to be like a competition amongst each other of who's the most popular or who's the best dressed.
Yeah. Okay. And one more thing.
It didn't Jack is doing it.
He's rocking
If you
that
would have done
jacket.
some denim pants and had a Canadian tuxedo going.
Oh man, I would have been the belle of the ball.
Sorry. I almost made it without doing that. What do you think, and that was like the bands and venues, what do you think the community at large, like us, or someone that's trying to help get the scene noticed more and all that, what do you think we could do more?
I think something that Manju did recently, because I really sort of did it, we want to kind of be an extension of that as well. Let's kind of just have meetings and get everybody involved on thinking of ideas. Because it can't just be one band or one promoter or one venue trying to, it has to be everybody getting together to try to figure out ways to make things better. And it's kind of being the change that you want people to be. So you start with yourself and set the example, and then you hope that people take heed of that and do the same thing. And like I said, it really comes down to is going out and doing the work. It's going out the flyers. I mean, like when I found the beat, it was really just I Google search every single thing you can find in Arizona nationally that has any kind of information, radio, any kind of press release, and just finding different ways to get out there, finding what works best, and then once you find those ways, you share it with other people. You don't hold it against other people. And I think that's something that really doesn't happen. There's a lot of times where you see people like, how do they get from 0 to 100 like overnight?
Yeah.
And if you find a way to do that, it's like share it with other people. And we're constantly talking to all the bands that we play with about, how do they get themselves out there? We tell them how we get out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully together, it just kind of grows it larger than it is.
You just gotta really push yourself to go way beyond anything. Like, you gotta really put a lot of time into that, to a point where it's almost stressful and exhausting.
Yeah.
And you're kind of at each other's throats, but that's, I don't know, it's usually how stuff gets done. Stuff gets done because a lot of people just expect those kind of things to happen to them, especially in bands.
Yeah.
They just think they're gonna get big, and it doesn't work that way because no one cares. So you just really gotta put
So
yourself
it's kind of
out
like
there.
a job, huh?
Pretty much every guy in the world now is in like 5 bands, so it doesn't mean anything to say in the band.
And you know what, the other thing too is that there's a lot of dependency on the internet, which is, the internet is a great tool, but way too many people just use the internet. Because you really have to put yourself out there because everyone else is using the internet too.
Right.
You really have to show the effort because there's that communication barrier. So when you're like with the people in person, that shows way more commitment.
But it's real easy to click on going on an event. And
Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
doesn't really.
I can't tell you how many shows we have where it's 200 people click on going and then the show has 20 people.
Right.
You know?
You get there and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like pre-sale tickets, which I know is a really touchy subject with us and all bands really. It's like we hate to be held to a minimum of pre-sale tickets because we want a promoter to know we're going to go out there and do the work, and if they really like our band, they're going to put us on the show because they like our band.
Right.
Not because we're going to pre-sell tickets that people don't care about it. And if you have a good show, people are going to show up. If you put on a bad show, regardless of how many people click they're going, people are going to go. And we always try to give people a reason. Like if you get a pre-sale ticket, we're not giving it to you because we want to make this promoter money, and we're definitely not making money. But some of that money's going to go to one of the local causes we support. We might give you like pins or stickers or discounts on shirts. Normally the pre-sale tickets we do are $2 or $4 cheaper than regular.
Yeah, we just want to hang out with people and have them have fun with us.
Yeah.
Because we do it for ourselves, we do it for everybody else too.
Right.
Because I mean, that's what music was to us when we were younger, going to shows that those bands were kind of giving back. And we want to be the same, continue that.
Perfectly into my final question is that you guys do a ton to give back. Can you tell us about some of the things that you do for your fundraising and things like that?
Most recently we did Hope for the Hopeless CD, which is a compilation with 14 bands on it. All the bands are Arizona bands, some are from Flagstaff, we've got Tucson, Phoenix, so all around the valley. It's $6 and all the money goes directly to Haven, which is a local animal shelter within Arizona, and it was voted on by just people like us, our Facebook online. We sell the CD at all 70 other locations. It's distinctly just all birds at all our shows. So that's something we're really pushing right now. You can also get it online. It's got bands like Step Ahead, the CD. We're just excited to be on the CD. So we got songs that you're not going to create on Facebook or online. So that's something we're really into. Prior to that, we did compilation CD, which was for Katie Wagner, and Cody kind of spearheaded that.
Yeah, we just basically, over 2 nights of just no sleep, we compiled all of these handmade CDs with a compilation as well. We spray painted them, we hand folded them, we burnt them, everything. And it's for a girl who's 15 years old up in Anthem who has stage 4 bone and lung cancer. Yeah, so we decided to go ahead and throw those together overnight and get all the money back to her family and things like that.
That's so awesome.
We've also done a lot of charity shows. We have something that's kind of an extension of the CD, which is called Hope for Double, just a tour basically. And we do it in different cities so far. We've done Tempe, we did one in Tucson recently. We've got Nile Theater and another big bands that we like playing with, and we'll bring them to the south of the city where they normally don't see these bands. And we get them with local bands as well, and we have people vote online and vote for us on topics. And then depending on what venue will work with us, we did $1 went towards the music class and everything else went directly to a charity. In Tucson we did a show where half the door went directly to a charity, and that was Abolition Media, and we're supposed to shoot like Tucson, and that's for human trafficking. So that's something that we're really motivated to help out. The one in Tempe was for Team Lifeline, which was
Suicide Hotline. Really cool people. It's a good charity.
So we always try to get back to that. We've done some shows at the Underground for the Pepper Foundation, we've done an animal show. There's a lot of it.
I don't know, a band is kind of like a... Whenever you're in a band, you have a lot of leeway with people. And when you have a microphone, a lot of people listen. So we kind of figured, why not take advantage of that and actually get back and use it instead of just... A lot of time bands just kind of really have anything to say. We really want to push a positive message, I guess, on people to get back and grow that community again.
On top of all that, it's just I hate to do bands like, we definitely don't have to set morals where like, you have to do this, you have to do this, like you have to see it this way. Everything that we have, I think, as far as everything that we work on, is more of, as I said, like a platform where everybody can be involved and say, this is what we like, and since you've got the mic to tell people about it, you know, spread it to everybody. So we try to make it something that's very, where it's all inclusive for everybody. And all our songs are more about questioning things versus saying this is the answer.
Right.
So we definitely don't want to cram any kind of morals down anybody.
We don't tell them what to believe, but
we don't have like a set political agenda or anything silly like that.
Yeah.
With the name, we do get the political idea. We do have lots of this more political satire and really kind of corporate satire.
But there's no opinions in any of it. It's just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just posing the different ideas, telling yourself to think for yourself and see what you believe.
Figure things out for yourself,
and I think that's the biggest part of the whole thing anyway, is think for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And then when we come to have people come to shows, we definitely don't want people crossing their arms and just kind of, you know, we don't want to spawn a tough guy crowd. The music doesn't have, just because the music's heavy, you don't have to be hard or have to be tough guys. We want people to have fun.
And we want to bridge it all between all the different scenes.
If you're into slam dancing or mosh pitting or circle pitting or running around, just as long as it doesn't interfere with anybody else, do your thing and just have fun.
Okay. So you guys have the show tonight. You have another show coming up now, right?
We have we're going on tour next actually. We've got the tour starts a week after next. So we're going to Lancaster, California, San Diego, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Flagstaff. We're trying to work on some of those stuff. Those are for the taking up the crash tours that we're going on. And that's the support that we're really in the city. After that, I'm not really sure where our next local show is.
I think we...
Oh, you're on the Hunted.
Yeah, we're working on a show with Run with the Hunted possibly. But I think after that we have a CD release, potentially.
That's what I was thinking
focusing on the CD release. We're actually been in the studio all this week recording a new CD, which
how'd that go?
We don't have a name for it yet, but we're thinking about the next 1 to 2 months it'll be out. It'll be at all the local record stores and online and other stores, obviously. And it's by far everything that we've done on it so far. I think we've kind of been done softer than we've ever done, faster, slower than we've ever done. So we kind of just brought in every horizon that we could and brought in every influence that we're trying to explore the entire year that we've done so far. So it's definitely the best thing in my opinion that we've
Now, is there anything that you guys would want to add? Anything I didn't ask or
Right
what?
now,
I was talking a little bit at the beginning.
He said toilet.
You did.
He didn't say toilet.
John. I would just like to say John. Do something great. Do something wild. Do something crazy.
Yeah, we're pretty boring dudes.
Oh, wow, there you go. That was cool.
Do a Stone Cold Stunner.
We're giving out Stone Cold Stunners for free at our merch booth every show on the tour. Be sure to stop by and get your Stone Cold Stunner, followed by the People's Up.